It's been a busy offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers, which has been filled with plenty of speculation throughout. There was a moment in time when it was unclear if TJ Watt would sign a new contract with the organization. However, the front office ended up giving Watt a 3-year, $123 million deal with $108 million guaranteed. With training camp in full swing, the veteran edge rusher admits he never doubted the franchise during contract negotiations. During a guest appearance on The Pat McAfee Show, TJ Watt reveals he was confident throughout the entire offseason that his agent would reach a deal with the Steelers. The former Defensive Player of the Year award winner is seemingly happy with the timing of the deal as well, so he can prepare for the upcoming season with his teammates in training camp. "I'm always getting myself ready for the season, regardless of what is happening," said TJ Watt. "I think the second time around you're more involved with your agents than the first time for sure, just because you're older, more mature. You know how the business works, but we always knew a deal was going to get done. I'm glad it got done when it did." Aaron Rodgers has spoken positively about every aspect of the Pittsburgh Steelers since signing with the team roughly 2 months ago. One position group he's talked about a lot is the tight end room, including Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Connor Heyward, and Darnell Washington. Rodgers has found compliments for all of them. At training camp practice on Wednesday, Pittsburgh managed to get them all on the field at once, according to The Athletic's Mike DeFabua. As DeFabua notes, 0-4 personnel means there's no running backs and 4 tight ends on the field. It's a rare concept for obvious reasons. However, it doesn't mean you can't have anyone in the backfield, as the Steelers had Jonnu Smith next to Rodgers. Rodgers spoke about the Steelers' tight ends yet again Wednesday on the Pat McAfee Show. Interestingly, he specifically mentioned 0-4 personnel. "We got a lot of tight ends," Rodgers said. "We got 4 great tight ends. We could actually do 0-4 personnel, which, is 4 tight ends on the field. When you could put Jonnu and Darnell and Pat and Connor on the field. It's pretty special." There are a few different ways 0-4 personnel could look if the Steelers decided to use it this season. It could be run out of heavy sets with one receiver on the field. Jonnu Smith makes the most sense in the backfield, since he has the most experience there. Freiermuth would likely line up out wide, while Washington and Heyward would be closer to the line of scrimmage. Since the Steelers' tight ends have different skill sets, this could work. Freiermuth can run routes and work the middle of the field. Washington is a massive target, and Heyward has some agility as a former running back as well. As for Jonnu Smith, he already knows he can play anywhere on the field. "I'll speak for myself as well. I've made plays at basically every position outside of quarterback," Smith said while speaking to the media before practice last week. "We're versatile in that aspect. If the Steelers had done more to upgrade at receiver this offseason, they might not be doing things like this. But the Steelers have a versatile tight end room, one Rodgers is clearly a fan of. Some of them have motivation, too, with it being such a crowded room. The 0-4 personnel could really help a player like Connor Heyward, who needs to make a name for himself with so many players at his position. Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers both love to use their tight ends. This represents a new way to do so. The Pittsburgh Steelers' Mike Tomlin-Aaron Rodgers relationship is going very well so far. Shortly after Rodgers effusively praised Tomlin for his consistency in their private conversations before the 40-year-old quarterback signed with Pittsburgh, the longtime Steelers head coach repaid the favor when talking to ESPN's Kevin Clark. "He has an absolute love affair with the game of football. It's just no component in the game or the process that I've seen in the time that I've been around him that he does not enjoy. And that's just really a cool thing considering he's been doing it a while," Tomlin said of Rodgers. In terms of the future Hall of Famers game, Tomlin pointed toward the ad-lib component as a key factor in why it has been so hard to stop Rodgers throughout his 20-year NFL career. "A lot of times there's negativity that comes with the ad-lib, but the great ones they manage that well, and he certainly fits into that category. His ability to extend plays and ad-lib without offensive negativity has been really impressive over the course of his career," Tomlin said. Welcome back. This is the 5th special edition episode of the Terrible Podcast, which will be posted after the Pittsburgh Steelers wrap up each one of their 2025 training camp practices. It's Wednesday night, and Alex Kozora joins me to discuss what he observed at St. Vincent College in Latrobe earlier in the day. As usual, Alex and I go through all of the position groups and give you the rundown on as many players as possible in the shortest amount of time. In case you missed it, you can read Alex's Wednesday practice report here. Thanks to Len Testa at TuringPlans.com for once again sponsoring these special edition episodes during Steelers training camp. The Pittsburgh Steelers will get starting left tackle Broderick Jones back at practice tomorrow, according to head coach Mike Tomlin. Jones suffered a soft tissue injury on Sunday and would not have practiced on Tuesday. In team walkthrough, it was Calvin Anderson taking the first team reps. On Sunday, Jones went through individual drills, but was off to the side getting his hip wrapped by trainers. The wrap went around his hip, down to his groin area, and then to his hamstring. Anderson took the first rep at left tackle, but Dylan Cook assumed most of that role for the rest of practice. On day one, Jones allowed 2 would-be sacks, including a play where Alex Highsmith dusted him to the inside. On Friday, Jones struggled again, getting beaten by a spin move from Nick Herbig and allowing 2 more sacks. Jones is no stranger to his high expectations and is aware of them. The pads are not on yet, either, but the first 2 days have been somewhat concerning. Tomlin knows it too. "I expect him to do what we drafted him to do," Tomlin said. He was a left tackle prospect and a highly regarded one when he came out. He was a young guy when he came out, so he's had some on-the-job training meanwhile. "I think it's a big year for him, and one that we can expect him to play varsity ball." Jones said Friday there is not much difference from right to left tackle and downplayed the significance of moving around throughout the early portions of his career. With that in mind, his technique needs to improve. "No, I don't think it's different," Jones said. "I've been in the starting lineup. It's still the same position to me. I'm trying to become a starter. They're looking at me to be left tackle, so I just got to focus on that." If the Steelers can get a big jump out of Jones in his 3rd year, it could really change the trajectory of the offensive line.